This is a short video about how I recently made a sand tower for my West Mill Yard locomotive service track. I'm calling it an Ersatz sand tower because it's made out of commonplace, cheap, readily available materials I found lying around my house. I first came across the word Ersatz years ago in an article in Model Railroader of all places. It was about Ersatz details the modeler was making for his N-scale locomotives. The word kind of caught my ear. I like making model railroad structures out of commonplace items. I am, after all, the builder of the shampoo bottle and downspout blast furnace, the oatmeal box tunnel liner, and the chain link fence post cap industrial bin. I have the greatest respect and admiration for fine-scale modelers and their attention to detail. But I'm more of an impressionist. I don't focus as much on the details as they do, partly because I don't have the skill level and the patience to do that. I'm more of an impressionist with model railroading. I try to make things look enough like what they're supposed to look like that they're recognizable and pleasing to me. Another reason I'm not a fine-scale modeler is because I'm a klutz, and I tend to do things like catch delicate details on the cuff of my sleeve. So anyway, what I wanted to do was create a sand tower that had a classic look like this one and install it at the loco servicing track at West Mill Yard. Well, here's how the process worked. I looked around the house and I found this felt tip pen. Turns out the pen was drying out, so I threw the pen away, but I kept the cylindrical cap, which I really like the looks of. I found the tip of another pen, and it turns out the wider part is exactly the same diameter as the other pen cap. How lucky was that? For the sand tower mast, I'm using this craft stick. Yes, it's a lollipop stick. I'm also using a couple of metal grommets and one of those white plastic tabs that you push into screw heads at the end of a furniture project. Here's how it's shaping up when I put the pieces together. For the piping and support for the hoses, I use nails. For the hoses themselves, I cut little bits of this craft wire that my wife was using for another project. I had some ladder stock from an old broken signal. Here's what the sand tower looks in profile. And then I gave it a shot of primer paint and then oversprayed it with silver. Well, now fully assembled, the sand tower was installed at the locomotive servicing track at West Mill Yard. And here's how it looks.